Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Do you have a small farm, a big farm, or just critters in the backyard to feed? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you need to make the short drive down to A&B Feeds in Etheridge, Tennessee today. Owner and operator Jamie Ayers has you covered and will treat you right. That's A&B Feeds in Etheridge, Tennessee.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome everybody here to another special edition of X Sports Live. The back porch sessions again. This time, Clint, we're on your back porch here.
Well,
and
it's a lot cooler. I don't care what y'all say.
Yes, you didn't.
It feels better.
You literally sat in the one sunny seat we have on that entire back porch.
If we do it again at your house, I'm getting there first. I'm claiming the right seat.
The big guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big guy already picked out his seat right off the get-go.
Yeah, he's got the one with the cushions.
Yeah. Well, right off the get-go, guys, we have a very special guest that is joining us, the voice of the Tar Heels for basketball and baseball. He's been a very busy man here over the last couple of weeks. We got Dave Nathan joining us. Dave, how you doing, man?
Well, guys, I've got a lot more time on my hands now that the Tar Heels aren't involved in the College World Series, so it's good to be on with you. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, and I know most people in Lawrence County know why we're calling you, but for people like me who's not from Lawrence County, just to kind of explain to everybody why that we have the voice of the Tar Heels on.
Well, in Lawrence County, everybody knows everybody, and I've turned out to be one of those everybody's that people know. And the only reason people know me in Lawrence County is because I went to school and married the lovely former Anna Eck class of 1999.
That's right. That's right.
So yes, I think that's probably about the only reason that you guys would want to have me on. And if you want to know about Anna, I'd be happy to talk for about 20 or 30 minutes.
Well, first of all, how did we were, I don't know if Clint and Dusty were sure on it, but how did you guys meet?
Well, we were in the same English class together back in college. It was one of the few classes I actually attended, and it was more so because she was there as opposed to what they were teaching. So that's how we got together all those years ago.
This was at the University of Tennessee, right?
It sure was.
So I'm sure it's not the first time you've done a UNC Tennessee game, but just how kind of weird was that having to call a game between your employer and your alma mater?
Yeah, it's a good question. This is the third time I've called a game between Tennessee and North Carolina, and goodness, there was a Music City Bowl back in, I think, 2010 that I was working in the studio for, so I was a little more removed from that one. But a basketball game up in Connecticut a few years ago that I called, and now it's been two baseball games that I've called. The first one was in 2019, which was the first time in 14 years that Tennessee had even been in the NCAA tournament. And then the one, of course, the other day with Tennessee in the College World Series, and now sitting pretty in the championship series against Texas A&M. But the question's a good one, and I always tell people when you hear a player or a coach say once the game starts, the game's just the game, and that's exactly the way that it is for me up in the broadcast booth. You just rely on your fundamentals and what you're supposed to be doing, and that is conveying what's happening to people that can't be there the best way that you know possible. And for the best way for me to do that is to do it from the Carolina perspective, because those are the people that are listening to us and hopefully hanging on every word.
Absolutely, Al. Have you heard many stories about your wife's Lawrence County days? Because right before him, we were eating dinner, and these guys were just rattling off story after story and entertaining me and Hayden over here.
Yeah, I've heard there's a few out there. I don't know if I'd put them out on the radio, but I've heard a few.
Well, we were basically, Dave, we were just saying, class of 99, they're probably remembered for more bad things than they are good. Let's put it that way.
You know, I was in a different class in a different state, but I feel like we are one and the same.
Yeah.
You had a pretty special baseball team this past year, Dave. Being a West Virginia native, covered West Virginia for several years, your team ruined a historic season for them, the head coach going out, retiring after that. I don't know how many of my buddies back home were kept texting me or calling me going, why are they pitching the Honeycutt? Because he not only destroyed them, he destroyed everyone before them and then destroyed everybody in the College World Series. Just how special was this team this year?
Well, the Carolina team was really special. And as I went back and thought about what we said about this team after their last game against Florida State, this was a team that was probably a borderline top 20 team at the beginning of the season, not picked to win its own division in the ACC. And with so many new people, whether they're freshmen or transfers on the roster, you just didn't quite know how the season was going to go. But with Vance Honeycutt, who is as talented and as gifted a baseball player as I've been around in Carolina for the last 12 years, and Casey Cook, who is probably the most consistent hitter on this year's team, you blend in a guy like Parks Harbor, who I'm guessing you remember from his days in the SEC at Georgia, and then you sprinkle in two guys that most people didn't know about. Alex Madera, who was Division III player for 4 years, and Anthony D'Onofrio, who had played at Cortland up in New York. I was told he wasn't good enough to make the team at Stony Brook, and then played a couple seasons at Quinnipiac. You just had no idea what these guys were capable of. You had some freshmen in there. Luke Stevenson was one of our catchers, and Gavin Gallagher, who hit a walk-off grand slam in the first game of the tournament against Long Island. And there was a lot to find out. And one of the first things we found out was that our top pitcher returning wasn't going to be available this year. And so in his place, you started true freshman on opening day for the first time since 1998, which was the year I graduated high school. And then that kid goes down halfway through the season. So our three starting pitchers are a kid that should still be a senior in high school. He reclassified to play college baseball this year. He just turned 18 in April. Another pitcher that was a 2-year player from Elon, and then a transfer from Fayetteville Tech. That was our weekend rotation for the better part of the season.
Wow.
And down the stretch, those guys put it together. I mean, they were amazing. Yeah. And they were complemented by a real solid bullpen of veterans and players who had done it before. But, you guys have seen a lot of baseball. You just never quite know how these things are going to go.
Yeah.
But the good news for Carolina was that it went pretty well. We swept a weekend series at Wake Forest and handed Chase Burns, a former Tennessee pitcher, only lost in the regular season. And from that point on, Carolina had a lot of confidence and wound up winning the Coastal Division, winning the ACC regular season, and getting the number 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, and then going to Omaha for the 12th time in school history, and the first time since 2018. So while there was a lot of unknown back in February, maybe even into March, we got to know this team really well. And anybody that was a Carolina fan liked what they had to offer and what they showed and what they got to hear about on our network.
Dave, touching on this year, were you on the call in that LSU game?
Every one of them. We only played them 3 times.
Well, the big one, the one, the last one.
Yes.
I got you.
That one, gosh, guys, Game 7 in a regional where you've got the defending champions in your stadium, and they brought a ton of fans. I mean, it was a big-time atmosphere. Carolina fans, I think they felt like they had to match what LSU brought, and LSU brought a lot, and we brought a lot, too. This was the best fan atmosphere I've seen doing Carolina baseball, so the fans get a lot of credit. But, yeah, that last game against LSU, it was a thrill ride. And Alex Madera, the Division III transfer I was just talking about, he was the guy that drove in the game-winning run.
With that, you're not still there, are you, Dave? In Omaha?
In Omaha? No, we got back yesterday.
I got you. you got Texas A&M, you got Tennessee left, and you don't have to be partial, even though most of our viewers are Tennessee fans. But who are you liking in that matchup, getting to call and getting to watch them, for almost, I guess, probably over a week, and getting to see everybody? And what are you looking at? What do you like come Saturday?
Well, I'm looking at how Tennessee got to where they are, and they got the benefit of a good call on their behalf in the opening game against Florida State.
100%.
But then you have to give them credit for doing the rest. I mean, what did they get, 3 or 4 base hits after that phantom check swing to win the game and come back and go to the winner's bracket 12-11 over Florida State. And Coach Forbes, our coach the other day, said that Florida State was about as balanced and good an offensive team as he'd seen this year, and we've seen some good ones. So for Tennessee to beat Florida State twice and to beat us 6-1, they're good. I mean, they are real. They are rested. They've swept through this thing. The number one team hasn't won since 1999, so history tells us that maybe Texas A&M's the bet here, but
right.
I'm going with Tennessee. They check every box, and to have made this trip now 3 times in 4 years, they're not going to be happy just winning a game. The only thing that they're here to do is to win a national championship. Yeah,
I'll give a big shout out to your father-in-law and your son, but tell Ann I'm a little disappointed in her. He came, that little man of yours came in the barber shop, and I just looked at him and I said, "Did you cheer for the Tar Heels or the Vols?" He said, "Tar Heels," like I was crazy. So you've got him trained right.
I talked to him when I was in Omaha, and he had a really serious question for me. He said he wanted to know who to root for. And I didn't answer the question for him. I said, "Well, who do you want to root for?" And he told me he was rooting for Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
The next day he calls back. He said, "Dad, are we sure we're rooting for Carolina?" I said, "That's what you're feeling. You go ahead and do it, my man." So, he's been raised a Carolina guy, and of course his sister's a big Carolina fan as well. But they've been to Tennessee games before, and they love Tennessee as well. So I feel like they kind of get the best of both worlds.
Dave, you've been doing games in the ACC for a while, and most of our fans here are SEC fans, and they've experienced some fun SEC traditions. What are some of your favorites around the ACC?
Favorite traditions around the ACC? Well, that's a great one. I'm always a big proponent of playing Duke at least 2 or 3 times a year in basketball. Mm-hmm. And then every once in a while playing them in the Final Four and getting a win.
Yeah.
That's a good way to spend time in late March or early April.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun. Going around and doing the football tour, we opened up at Virginia Tech a couple years ago. I think it might have even been a Thursday night. To have Enter Sandman playing when the Hokies run out on the field at Lane Stadium. That's a big deal. Clemson's football team running down the hill and touching Howard's Rock is a huge thing. And in Florida State, they jammed that spear into midfield before the Seminoles run out. Yeah. And it looks like they're back to the Seminoles that I remember when I was a kid back in the 80s and 1990. So there's a lot of great traditions around the ACC. The football has certainly upped its profile in the last 10, 15 years with teams playing for and winning national championships. Obviously, a lot of folks like to hang their hat on basketball, and it's never a dull moment on Tobacco Road with North Carolina. And even NC State making a Final Four this year for the first time since 1983. Duke's always going to be good. Steve Forbes, who used to be an assistant at Tennessee, is a head coach at Wake Forest right now. So a lot of familiarity, a lot to like, and never a dull moment with all these teams getting together.
Yeah, I tell these guys all the time, I got cover Virginia Tech for 4 football seasons, and nothing tops Enter Sandman.
Yeah, it's their thing. Everybody's got their thing, and that's theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to top. Dusty, you got anything more?
The one thing I want to know is I'm a huge Jordan guy. So what is it like getting to call North Carolina basketball? I mean, we're talking about the best of the best. So what is it like going in and calling games like that?
Well, I don't get to call all of them. I get to call the ones where there's usually a football conflict, and our regular play-by-play guy for basketball, Jones Angel, will be handling football. Usually during those late November, early December stretches where you're playing in a pre-conference tournament somewhere. So, the the 3 or 4 games I get to do a year are usually somewhere other than Chapel Hill, but to call them inside the Smith Center, it's as good a spot as there is. I mean, 21,750 that have been living and dying with Carolina basketball since probably they were born. And the culture's just handed down from one generation to the next, to go from Dean Smith and Roy Williams. All the championships that those two have helped Carolina win, all the great players they've developed in the way. I think that maybe the most important thing is the way that they've kept all these players together through the years. It's unique to see guys come back that might have played in the 1960s or 70s or 80s or more recently, and they all know one another. They all care about one another, and to see folks that might be 30 or 40 years difference in age, but still have that common bond of playing for Carolina and getting back. The Carolina family is real, and to see it play out game in and game out, it never gets old seeing that.
And one more question before I go. What is it like at a Duke game? Because I know that's just got to be impressive to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you one story. It had nothing to do with the game, but I got up from doing my post-game show courtside to go to my regular seat, and I take one step and I bump into somebody. It's Antoine Jameson talking to David Robinson.
Wow.
You just never know who you're going to see at those things. That there have been ex-presidents that show up. Jerry Seinfeld's been around. Roger Goodell's been around. Ex-players. Jason Garrett's a big Duke fan, the old Dallas Cowboys coach. It just never surprises you really who comes to some of these games. And the way that it works is there's always one at Carolina, there's always one at Duke. And the settings are totally different, where Carolina's a little more similar to the old Thompson Bowling Arena, where you've got a massive building that's filled up. And then Duke's 9,000 and change, and you're packed in like in a high school gym. But the level of play is always big. The talent's as good as there's going to be in the country, and the stakes are always super high.
Right.
It's rare, and I tell folks that might be familiar with Knoxville, just imagine if the University of Florida was located at Westtown Mall. That's the amount of difference that you got where the schools are located, 10 miles away. Fans have to live with one another. The players see each other out on Fridays and Saturday nights, going to the same places. It's a unique deal living amongst all these different people that root for all these different teams here in the Triangle.
That's awesome. Here's Brazier.
Yeah, Dave, my oldest daughter actually has moved to Raleigh, and that's mine and her. We're going to try to watch a basketball game at Duke next year against North Carolina, so she's working on those tickets. The good thing is she works for Make-A-Wish, so she's got a lot of hookups.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, we'll let you get off here, but you tell my birthday twin that the next time y'all are in the big city of Lawrenceburg to call, because if you can be, we'd love to have you in live in studio too, especially once our high school sports season gets going back this next calendar year, and love to have you in studio.
Well, that'd be a treat. I know high school sports are big where you live, and football season, I'm guessing they're counting down right now.
Oh yeah.
To when these Friday nights get cranked up. So yes, if I'm in the zip code, I will let you guys know.
Dave, thank you so much for taking time out and visiting with us.
Always a pleasure, fellas. The College World Series, and we'll see if Tennessee can't win the program's first national championship in a few days.
Yeah, you tell those kids it's okay just for 3 games, or hopefully just 2 games, they can say go Vols.
I'll pass that along. If they don't hear from me, they'll hear from my wife.
All right, thanks, Dave.
All right, thank you,
You
Dave.
bet, fellas. Bye-bye.
All right, and coming up next here, we'll discuss a little bit of the College World Series, and we'll get into the world of the NBA next here on X Sports Live.
Financial advisor Scott Beasley knows time spent with family is everything. As a founder of Beasley Wealth Management, his mission is to give clients the freedom to enjoy time with family without the burden of financial concerns. A local of Lawrenceburg, Scott deeply values building relationships with clients, ensuring they make informed decisions concerning asset management, tax planning, and retirement planning. Offering a free initial consultation, Beasley Wealth Management helps clients pursue their aspirations with confidence. A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. we assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
This is the Property of the Week from Hood Company Real Estate in Lawrenceburg. There is room for everyone in this beautiful and roomy ranch-style home that has a brand new roof. Featuring 5 bedrooms and 4 baths, a formal entry, living room, extra-large den, dining room, kitchen with built-in pantry space, and more. In addition to over 3,000 square feet of living space, you'll find a 408 square foot sunroom at the back of the house with beautiful windows overlooking a private backyard. For more on this property, check out hoodcompanyhome.com.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
Hey everyone, this is Landon Saunders.
And this is Nate Patterson with Cloud9 Fiber.
We're excited to finally be able to offer Lawrenceburg our blazing fast, reliable, and affordable fiber internet services.
If you're looking for a more reliable and more affordable provider, we at Cloud9 Fiber have you covered.
Plans start at $50 a month, and we can offer up to a gigabit to your home or business.
We are excited to be able to offer your first month of service entirely free. We encourage you to sign up on cloud9fiber.com or by calling 931-201-9098 so we can help you make the switch today.
For the best meal from south of the border, head to Cocina Real and Puente Grande for lunch and dinner. With a wide array of mouth-watering entrees, there's something for everyone on the menu. And you can't forget the cheese dip. They'll treat you like family, and you'll never leave hungry. Make Cocina Real Mexican Restaurant and Puente Grande Mexican Restaurant your choice for authentic cuisine, located in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Free summer movies are back at Crockett Cinemas in Lawrenceburg. Stop by for a new movie each week on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. This summer, the theater will be showing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Trolls Band Together, Paw Patrol the Mighty Movie, Despicable Me, Migration, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Each movie will begin at 11 a.m. at Crockett Cinemas in Lawrenceburg.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back here to X Sports Live. We got Clint Brazier, Dusty Kaiser, Hayden Burks, who's producing for us tonight. He's making his way back in. What a great way to open up the show with Dave Nathan joining us. And wow, getting that perspective. Married a Lawrenceburg girl, and it was good to have him to start things off.
Yeah, and Dave's got a lot of knowledge. I meant to ask him. It's two things I meant to ask him. If he ever got to call a game at Rosenblatt, the old stadium and stuff, but also wanted to ask him. You were kind of close to it. I was going to say, how many times a year do you see Jordan?
Yeah, that would have been a good question.
Yeah. But other than that, I was tickled to death that he took time out and we got to open the show with him.
Well, guys, NBA season is just wrapped up. The Boston Celtics, my boy Joey Maz, winning the series 4-1. I think that was kind of in the what we have someone saying a sweep, and a couple of us going Game 6, so it kind of finished there in the middle.
I had 7. I should have went with the sweep because it probably been a lot closer, but I went 7 at the end there. But.
I mean, I think we knew after Game 2 the Celtics were going to win. It was only a matter of how many games it was going to take, and that Celtics team, just everything that Dallas tried, the Celtics had an answer for, and Luka was just not good.
No, probably. I don't know that we couldn't play better defense than he did in this series, but they've got to use it as a learning curve. It'll be interesting to see what kind of moves they make in this offseason. Be interested to see how much Kyrie wants to stay. He said Luka's the best teammate he's ever played for. And so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But I'm very proud that at the first of the year I picked Boston, and I said they got to learn how to win close games against good teams, and they did. And they had about 8 players that were interchangeable. That they got the job done. They were fun to watch.
Well, they were. Listen, we don't think about it, but now that it's over with, think about this. They shoot as many threes as the nasty Golden State team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they get after it and rebound the misses.
Yes,
they whipped Dallas overall stats.
Offensive rebounds.
They got a ton of second chance points.
And that was the only reason Dallas won Game 4 was they won on the offensive glass.
Yeah.
Their effort rebounding in Game 4 was different than Games 1 through 3 and Game 5. And there was no boxing out from Dallas. Again, not much effort from Luka on the defensive end. And when you got only 4 guys playing defense and maybe only 2 of the 4 are decent at it, and everybody else is just kind of passive-aggressive, it was a recipe for disaster from the get-go for Dallas.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be the first to say, I thought they matched up well at first. But, I had a conversation with a guy yesterday, and our conversation didn't go like I wanted it to. Yeah. I understand that we put superstars on a pedestal, but when does it become that? And I know this is a series, but hear me out. I'm going to talk about just a game. When did superstars they're not allowed to have a bad game?
It doesn't feel like it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kyrie laid an egg.
Yeah.
He laid an egg for 5 games.
Yeah.
He had Game 4. They ended up winning by 40. He ended up that was the best game he had.
I think he had 20 at the end of the first half, I believe. For the Mavericks.
But so Kyrie laid an egg on offense. I still think he played decent defense. I think he showed really good leadership out on the court, keeping guys where they need to go. But you could tell they were gassed. Luka, on the other hand, hey man. I'm proud that the media is hammering him. Mm-hmm. They need to. Mm-hmm. I really didn't know how it was going to go, and don't take this out of context, but these foreign guys, they get a pass a lot of times. Mm-hmm. They really not been a lot of joker. And I said, because I feel like he don't care. Yeah. Like if they got on him, he just don't care. Okay, whatever. I think Luka does care. And I'm proud that they've got onto him, and I'm hoping that Luka takes this and builds from it.
Yeah, I think Luka probably would have gotten a pass for having a bad game, but you can't whine as much as he did.
No.
and expect to get a free pass.
I kind of a thought about Luka. He's given me a lot of Dirk vibes. Because remember when Dirk lost in 06, they had the series lead.
Sure.
They won the first two against the Heat, and then they ended up losing 4 straight
Yep.
after that. Obviously he got back at the Heat later on, but not many people thought that was going to happen. Is this kind of one of those? Is this going to be Luka's only chance?
I don't think it's his only chance. I mean, he's 25 years old.
They're going to have to get better though, because that's the thing that I've noticed.
Yeah. I'm not worried about Luka. I'm more worried about the team.
I think that
the team.
They've got to find. Well, we see all teams really that win your championships.
Yeah.
They have at least three guys.
Right.
Whether you want to admit it or not, Boston had 5.
Yeah.
6 when you got Horford coming off the bench at 40 years old and playing like he's playing. But I feel like for Dallas, so take Kyrie and Luka out of the equation. I think Gafford and Lively, those two are they're gonna sub each other. Those are really two young players, especially Lively being a rookie. But I think it's the 4th number. So you got P.J. Washington, you got Jones.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know about that or Derek Jones though.
That's what I'm saying. Like
you can replace him.
He can be replaced. And I think PJ. And I don't want to. I'm trying to knock PJ.
Yeah.
But maybe look at trading both of those for something.
I'm expecting them to make some moves, and the good thing they've got going for them and the Timberwolves. Tell me somebody in the West you're worried about right now. I mean, obviously Golden State's probably always going to be a threat, but they're going to have to make a lot of moves.
They're done.
They're done.
They're done.
Golden State, they're done.
No, I don't think they're not. I think that's the talk we're going to have.
But here's the thing: it's not like the East where you've got 5 or 6 they're contenders.
Yeah, and that are young.
The West,
there's going to be a bunch of good teams in the West, but I mean, there's only 4 teams in my opinion:
I think
Wolves, Mavericks, the Thunder, and the Nuggets. Those
Yeah.
are the 4.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like they're going to make some moves, and I could see them getting big and getting a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Free agency starts June 30th.
Yeah.
So
Denver. I mean, you think about it. Their top 3 played well.
Mhm.
Their 4th player is not the reason, but their 4th player could be the reason why they didn't make it past the 2nd round. That's Michael Porter Jr.
Mhm.
He's their 4th guy.
Yeah.
He laid an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, disappeared at the worst possible
He did.
time.
Gordon played his tail off.
Jamal Murray played good.
Jamal Murray, and of course, Joker. I just think, and I think, we can talk about this for hours, but I think there's another team that they got a superstar, and I think he's going to want out. No matter, does he want to stay in the West, does he go to the East, and that's Book.
Yeah. Well, Durant, KD's still there.
KD's going to be there. They're going to be. They got Bill.
They're still stuck with Bill.
They're going to butt heads, and I love.
Bradley Beal don't want to be there.
He don't want to be there. We know Kevin Durant can't lead any team.
No, he's not a bus driver.
No, but I think Steph's going to have him another run. It's just a matter of who they put with him.
Yeah, and I can see Steve Kerr in that front office putting something to make a
yes
2 year. Give us some players we can go for 2 more of these things.
Yes. And, I done seen talk, and this you talking about going to hurt my feelings. I done see talk that Mark Cuban says he'll give whatever it takes for LeBron to come to Dallas, because he said he'll draft Bronny right now just to get LeBron.
Well,
to only have him for what, a year?
Yeah. Well, speaking of LeBron, they hired his podcast partner today. Dusty, you want to take the?
I'll let you take the lead.
Hey guys, LeBron has never chosen his coach.
Yeah.
Never. Can y'all believe that crap? JJ, listen, Monty is on the board. Detroit Pistons is the worst organization in professional sports. You got a great coach that you fired, and the Lakers hired J.J. Redick.
Yep.
You hired somebody that's never coached. He was a spot shooter. Was all he was. I mean, he wasn't great. Did you ever meet back an all-star team?
No.
And all he does now is walk around holding LeBron's jockstrap.
Mm-hmm. Talking about how the 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s players played against plumbers.
He's an idiot.
Said Larry Bird played against a bunch of plumbers.
Oh.
One of the greatest ever.
I would have loved to hear Larry Bird's trash talk against J.J. Redick.
He would eat his lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, but really, guys, I mean, J.J. Redick is a head basketball coach for the Los Angeles Lakers.
He's got a great offensive mind. I'll give him that. But
Bull
just still,
crap.
No, I think he's got a good offensive
How?
mind when it comes to his
How do you know
offense.
he's never coached?
I'm just saying when it comes to the game of basketball and offense, I'm not talking about coaching.
He
I'm just
stood in the
talking
corner and
overall.
shot threes.
I know, but how to come off screens and all that stuff. That's the only defense I'll give for that. But then again, I still
He's
think
not
it's a
going to
bad
coach
move.
the team. You got what they call him, Le Gym.
Then there,
LeBron's the GM of every team he's ever played on,
is, yeah.
except Miami. When
I
Pat
agree
Riley
with that.
said, "You know what? Nah,
Yeah.
we're good.
You came here for a reason.
You came here to win. You're going to win your titles. You're going to leave.
Yep.
You're not going to."
Pat Riley knew exactly.
I mean, that's the whole thing. JJ is LeBron's puppet. We see the writing on the wall, guys.
We had this talk last week, and I don't feel like LeBron's doing his son any justice.
None whatsoever.
If he should tell his son, stay in school. You only average 4 points a game. You know, like I said last week, he had 4 more points a game last year than I had.
4.
And he needs to stay and develop, and because he's not big enough. When he goes to the NBA, he's going to have to be a point guard anyways. So his shot needs to get better, his ball handling needs to get better before he comes to the NBA.
And I'm tired of hearing about this combine. Oh, well, he had like 33 threes in a row. Well, he didn't have nobody on him.
Mm-hmm. But with that said, this hire, I haven't liked J.J. Redick. I liked him kind of as a player at Duke, but I've never. He lost me when he said LeBron was better than Jordan a few years ago, and
Yeah, absolutely.
and gave all these analysis and how the game's just harder to play now than it used to be, and it I can't believe, I don't know what's going on with the buses. I don't know what's going on with Los Angeles, but how did you let it get to this? Magic and Kareem and James Worthy and some of those, as Kobe's rolling over in his grave right now, going, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, like, what?
So I don't know. I mean, I think they should deal LeBron if they can, get all they can, and start over, start a new dynasty, because you're not
keep AD.
I'd get rid of AD too.
I think the thing I seen a trade for him going to Chicago
for,
but now Crusoe's gone.
Yeah,
and they traded him today for Gibby. But hey, if the Lakers win 5 ball games, I'm tickled.
It's going to be entertaining, though.
It's going to be
It's going to be a drama. It's going to be a
Oh,
joke.
it's going to be
What's the NBA?
It's going to be the talk of the NBA next
NBA
year.
season what usually start November?
October.
Mid-October.
All right, do y'all over under JJ Redick's got a job by after Christmas?
I think though he'll go a year. I don't think he'll have a job after Christmas the following.
I think he gets one season.
Yeah,
That's all he's going to
everyone.
You
at
say
least
that
gets
until LeBron's unhappy.
Well, it's true.
Once he's
but
unhappy.
LeBron don't do nothing.
But hey, if they do only win 5 games by Christmas, if they've only won 5 games by Christmas,
he's out.
LeBron's not taking the blame for that.
No.
JJ's
You
out.
know who's taking the blame for that?
JJ's going
JJ's going to take it.
He might as well get ready to box. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's going to take it on the chin.
Yeah.
On the podcast.
I think it's going to be the laughing stock of the NBA.
It's going to be fun to watch though, because we all feel the same way about JJ Redick. It's just he's pawning for today, the modern day player, and there's a lot of guys like us that are like, you know what, I want to watch this crash and burn. No one's going to get hurt, no one's going to get harmed, no one's going to die or anything, so we can kind of watch the soap opera unfold.
Right.
But I don't like rooting against people, especially when I don't have a dog in the fight in the NBA. But I'm kind of rooting against this to fail.
I am. I'm in this a train wreck.
I hope it's. I'm telling you, 5 games may be too much for
Yeah.
me. I'm gonna give some stats real quick.
Okay.
On we talk about comparing like LeBron and Jordan. Well, now we're starting.
You did this during the commercial break last.
But now we're starting to see a little bit of Luka, LeBron. Their first 370 games, LeBron 10,074 points. Luka 10,488 points. Rebounds, LeBron at 25.38 and Luka 31.69. Assist 24.39 to 3,013. LeBron is shooting 46.6. Lucas 46.9. From 3-point, 32.2 to Lucas 34.3, and from the line, 72.9 to 74.4.
Almost doppelgangers.
I went further than that. I went a little deeper in it. LeBron has played 60 in his first seasons like Lucas. This is because Lucas only done this. Lucas played 50 playoff games. LeBron's played 60.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And listen, and I'm ripping Luka. I'm ripping him. And I hadn't ripped him like I should on this show. But like Luka, I mean, he laid an egg. And, you know, I know we don't point our fingers at one player, but in NBA you can, and I put it on Luka. He is the superstar, he is the guy. But Kyrie did it too. He laid an egg too. So, yes, I hope Kyrie does run it back one more year. I do hope they find them the third, whether it be another. They need Lively and Gafford are big, but they're not a Porzingis big.
Yeah.
No, Lively only.
They need a shot blocker.
Yeah, they need a shot blocker. And I wouldn't mind them saying getting somebody a little smaller to play some defense.
Yeah. They need a guard that can guard quick guards.
Yes.
Because they were getting beat like they stole something off the ball.
Oh yeah.
On ball deep. It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was a whole series. It really was. Well, coming up next here on X Sports Live, guys, we got some wrestling talk, and I'm going to spring a little bit of a question here, see what these guys think. Coming up next.
I'm Mike Keith, and my friends at Elliott Johnson Insurance have a great partner in Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners makes it easy to get life, home, car, or business insurance. Let Elliott Johnson Insurance find the Auto Owners policy that makes a difference in your life. Call Elliott Johnson Insurance at one of their 3 locations, Florence, Loretto, and Lawrenceburg. Elliott Johnson Insurance, moving forward for our clients every day.
Welcome to Employee Resources Credit Union, where you're more than just a number, you're family. We provide financial solutions that rise above those of traditional banks. With roots stretching back to 1964, we've served 4 generations during constant industry changes. We're known for our low fees and incredible rates. Join us and experience the credit union difference. ERCU, not for profit, for service.
Professional care with a smile. That will always be a guarantee at Encompass Healthcare. Whether you're looking for primary or urgent care, x-ray services, or even weight loss treatments, our team is equipped to serve your needs. Our doors are open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5. Make an appointment with our providers, Kendra Brown or Tori Cox, today. Encompass Healthcare, located on Highway 43 North in Etheridge, Tennessee, right next to Chapman Tire.
The Summit of Lawrenceburg is the premier senior and assisted living community in the region. The Summit makes it home for you or your loved one with diverse suites that welcome and encourage community, plus gathering spaces, neighborhoods, daily activities, and a wonderful staff that supports you every day.
Hi, I'm Tara Blue. I'm the new director of the Summit, and we would like to invite you and your family to come and tour our facility. We would love to see you here.
For decades, First Class Charter has provided high-quality motor coach transportation services to the Tennessee Valley. With numerous safety and cleanliness accreditations, First Class Charter is ready to make your group trip a reality. Contact us today by visiting firstclasscharter.net. First Class Charter, the official motor coach company of the North Alabama Lions.
Flooring sets the tone throughout your home.
For flooring that makes the right first impression, start by choosing us, Floored by Justin.
A one-stop flooring destination. Our new location stands alone for unequaled customer service and selection. Owner Justin Story's mastery of custom hardwood inlays means every room can have a custom look. Discover how the right choice of hardwood, laminate, carpet, or tile can set the tone in your home. Contact Floored by Justin today.
For decades, First Class Charter has provided high-quality motor coach transportation services to the Tennessee Valley. With numerous safety and cleanliness accreditations, First Class Charter is ready to make your group trip a reality. Contact us today by visiting firstclasscharter.net. First Class Charter, the official motor coach company of the North Alabama Lions.
Make your property rock and roll with services from GNS Excavating, specializing in white sand, compost, mulch, topsoil, landscape gravel, and steel landscape edging. Turn to the pros who know how to make your project shine with years of experience. The best part is they're locally owned and operated. Choose from a vast selection of mulch and rock from their conveniently located facility at number 3 Valley Road in Lawrenceburg, just off Buffalo Road. Phone 931-279-3841 and get started today.
There's no job too big or too small for Gonzalez Lawn and Landscapes. Owner Chris Gonzalez works hard to make your commercial or residential properties one of the neighbors will envy. You won't find a lower price anywhere else, and that's a guarantee. We offer mowing, landscape removal, small construction jobs, and more. Our team is licensed and insured to ensure the best work for Lawrence County and surrounding areas. Your satisfaction is our goal. We won't leave until you're happy. Call today to set up a free quote.
Here at Heritage Automotive, experience the difference. With our great sales department, service department, and parts department. Now offering up to $10,000 off on all Chevy and GMC Model 1500s.
And we have over 30 lenders with some of the best rates in the market.
Hi, it's Tag with Heritage Automotive, and we want you to know when it comes to your vehicle, you deserve help, not hassle. With our 30 plus years of experience of being your local dealership, we're here to serve you. So whether it's routine maintenance, mechanical repairs, collision repairs, we're here to help. So give us a call today to schedule your service.
Heritage Automotive. Expect more, experience the difference.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
With my dad, Jeff Hood.
You know, I get asked a lot about what the market's going to do, how's the real estate market. I've been selling real estate for a long time, and nobody has a crystal ball. And you know what? When it's your time to buy or your time to sell, it really doesn't matter what the market's doing. It's your time, and you have to do something maybe. What makes a difference is the agents and the experience that go to work for you. We're Keller Williams Hood Company, located here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We can help.
Hood Company, powered by Keller Williams, the #1 name in real estate.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody, here to X Sports Live. The back porch sessions once again. This time, in Clint's back porch, we've got complete shade. We've got a good breeze. It feels good out here. And
that's some good food by Mama Brazier.
Yeah.
Yeah, big shout out to Miss Jennifer Brazier.
Miss Jennifer fixed us a nice supper.
She's in there watching the baseball game from Rickwood Field. You've been there before, Dusty. Got the Giants and the Cardinals there.
So, yeah, she's watching it and listening to us.
Yeah, she is. And we'll get her rant in later.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a rant. She had a rant. We will mention it in our next segment, but going right into wrestling, guys, and a jam. We've had a couple jam-packed shows. We had a really good pay-per-view. Well, I wouldn't say an overall good pay-per-view. A couple of really good matches. on
Yeah,
the
it
pay-
wasn't a good card completely, but yeah.
The first and last match were really good. The stuff in between was, a little shaky. Some botches here and there, but Monday Night Raw, Seth returns. We got Uncle Howdy and his crew.
The whole
is
Drew
in.
McIntyre
Drew-
storyline now
and,
is
and he is
unreal.
K-fabing the bejesus out of that.
When he said, I can't do this anymore, and I thought, I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like,
He about to quit.
And then he says, screw this company, I quit. And I was
Yeah.
like, he just pulled a CM Punk.
Yeah, he did.
He just pulled a CM Punk.
Storylines.
Oh,
intertwined,
man. Hey, Friday Night SmackDown's going to be off the chart because it's in Chicago.
Yeah.
And they say Punk's going to be there.
Yeah, it's good. Seth returning, which is funny, because no one mentioned anything about
Nothing.
Seth coming back,
Right.
and that whole thing with Damian Priest is now set up for Money in the Bank.
Yep.
You got the whole Drew thing. Like hadn't he completely deleted his Twitter?
Yeah,
Took
he
everything
deleted
off
all-
his
yeah,
Twitter?
he deleted a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to the pay-per-view though. That first match between Cody and AJ Styles, wow,
Unreal. Yeah.
Listen,
that was a lot of fun.
Those two guys put on a show.
Yeah.
They done a really good job. AJ sold the whole moment with Cody's mom. That was unbelievable. Just great job by both guys.
They did a great job. I kind of feel bad for all the matches after that because you have a world title, Universal Championship match right off the get-go, and they tear the house down,
Tore
as they
down.
say in wrestling
I would have
terms.
never
That's
thought
good.
that match would open the show.
It was like the old Saturday Night Live main event,
Yes.
where you would put Hogan and Macho Man would go first,
Yeah.
and then you're sitting there watching like the rest of this sucks.
What else am I gonna watch?
Yeah, it was. Well, Drew had to be last because they were in Scotland.
Listen, that was a
And
match.
It was a really good match. I've said it before. I'm generally not a big guy versus big guy match because I always find them to be a little bit slow paced. That wasn't the case.
Yeah.
They had a really good pace, and then the ending was just spectacular.
Listen, when Punk, it was hard to tell.
No, and they did that on purpose. That camera view.
That
was
camera angle from
perfect.
way up top.
Yeah.
Have you seen it when he come in the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
From
he
way up-
slides in, and I'm like, from the back of his head, I said, "That's Punk." And then I thought, "Oh no!" And he counted to 2, and then he stopped, and I was like, "Yes!"
Yeah. And he pointed this one out. He did the peace sign like from the picture that Drew
The
had
shirt.
over Punk's
Yes,
photo.
yes,
He did that.
he sure did. Listen, CM Punk is he is they missed him for 10 years.
Yeah, they did.
Could you imagine some of the stuff we'd have had with him and Cena? Because they done it a little bit, but
I mean,
he left when Cena was popping.
that Money in the Bank match where Punk literally signed the contract, renewed his contract.
Yes.
Backstage, and no one really knew what was going on. That crowd pop, one of the best crowd pops ever for an entrance. Just Punk in Chicago, period. Is electric.
Friday's gonna be nuts.
Friday night SmackDown is going to be off the hook.
Do we think Drew shows up?
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
think he does. I think Punk is somewhat healthy because I think Punk's going to take one to Friday night.
Yeah. Do we think now that
Yeah, because he screwed him twice
He
now.
screwed him twice.
3 times.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
number 1 contendership match.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
right.
That's
Yeah.
right. He
Yeah.
did.
That's the 3rd
Yep.
time he's done it to him. So
So are we thinking? We kind of teased it a little bit. Are we thinking Cody's next opponent's going to be Solo before SummerSlam,
I think so. I think that'll be Money in the Bank, and
or do
Yeah, we got Money at Bank and then SummerSlam.
Or
Yeah,
do
that was,
they kind of maybe set him be the bloodline until SummerSlam, and kind of because Money in the Bank is the main match.
I don't know. I don't know that. I feel like Roman's coming back at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I do too.
oh, I do too.
And if Roman's coming back, I could see Cody and Solo going at SummerSlam and somebody else being before that.
yeah, I think Money in the Bank might be. This will probably be a great match.
Cody
the
may not have-
Bloodline versus Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, the Cody may not have a title match. I may do like a
Yeah.
6-man
Yeah,
tag.
like a 6-man tag.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
That would be a lot.
That'd be
Bloodline
fun. That'd be a lot of
versus
Yes.
RKO and,
The
and
American Nightmare.
Cody, and we're already getting the tease. LA Knight's really getting on Logan Paul's nerves.
Right.
Dude, that pull scene is hilarious.
That's the best.
Your
thing
friend,
I've
your
seen.
friend LA is here. Hey, what's the policy on peeing on the pool here?
Right.
That's all right. I gotta go.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
That was really good.
The Uncle Howdy at the end.
Yeah.
That's one of the best intros to a faction I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, we go back to the Hogan day when he screwed Savage and come in that the NWO was crazy. You know, the things Bray Wyatt's done. But that was pretty legit.
That was, I mean, like you said, Mason was a little
Mason
freaked out by
were
it.
watching it, and he was like, "Dad, what is this?" And you know, of course, he didn't know. And then when Nikki Cross come out, I knew what was coming. At first, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And then Nikki Cross come out, and she's crawling like that Annabelle character in that movie.
And the crowd went nuts.
They went crazy.
The crowd went nuts.
But the best thing, I think, have y'all seen the Jey Uso after Raw went off? You seen his interview?
Oh, I saw it. He said, I don't want to know
Oh
part
yeah,
of that.
oh yeah. He said, I ain't trying to be. I sent that to everybody. He said, I ain't trying to be in any part of that. So I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt's my boy. I don't want no smoke.
Did y'all see, like, so McAfee was bringing up on his show today, and his show kind of like went off and all that stuff on ESPN. So they're kind of thinking like, okay, now who? Because I was talking to you before the show. Who are they after? Who are they after? Like, is it just the faction is after everybody?
I think it's going to be them versus everybody.
That's kind of what
It
little
seems like.
tidbits I've read.
I can see them just raising all kinds of people and just almost like an NWO DX thing, except psychopaths.
Yeah, like Eric Rowan and that dude. I don't know what that one's got. He's going to tag with. It may be Dexter. I don't know. But I could see them going after the titles.
Yeah.
But they're just going to raise Kane every Monday, Friday night.
I think everyone's on, which I think it's better to go after everybody.
Yes.
Because now you'll get more of a consensus. You might get some people tagging up you wouldn't normally see tag up against. I think it's better overall.
And I tell y'all, I am loving what they're doing with Braun Breaker, Rick Steiner's son.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the spear? Did you see that?
Poor
Golly.
Ludwig.
Oh, Kaiser come running around the ring. Oh, man.
I don't know, man. And especially with Money in the Bank coming up, because, I mean, obviously, I'm not sure who's officially in there, but I know Jay is.
Man, that was a great triple threat.
Yeah,
match, by
that
the
was
way.
a great one. Jay's going to be in there. I would say Braun Breaker will be in there. He'll be one of them. I wish Finn Balor would be in there, man. I think it's coming.
Finn's fixing to make a run.
He is. And
Man,
I think him and Priest, the Demon's about to come back, and I've just been dying waiting.
I hope it does.
I've just been dying for that.
Because
to
Finn
happen.
Balor's such a great talent.
Oh, he's such a great talent. I thought he should have won at SummerSlam.
Well, I thought him and Ray done a really good job, but even Jay. I mean, they had that triple threat match was off the chart. I thought.
I mean, it was just the overall storytelling with the whole Liv Morgan thing, and then just all that coming together in that one match too, and then Jay just going out on top.
Yeah. I mean, they got a little closer. What happens when Mommy comes back?
She's going. It ain't gonna be good.
No. Poor Liv Morgan. She better get Dom now before that.
Well, I
happens.
think the consensus is as soon as she comes back, they're putting the championship right back on.
Oh, I think she's going to get it back.
Yeah,
she
quickly.
lost it. She lost it being injured. She didn't lose it in the match.
I'm about to say she didn't lose it. And, I mean, I don't see anybody beating her anytime soon. It's just an unreal baby face.
Oh, they're going to put it on her, and then there's going to be the lady come back, and that's going to be Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte's going to get her knee back, and she's going to come back and take it.
Yeah.
I mean, Becky's still unsigned.
Yeah.
They let her contract expire.
Yeah.
So at least that's what. I don't think she's going to go to the other company.
She's not going there. I don't think so. I just don't.
She might just take some time off.
She may do it.
You never know.
Well, speaking of, you mentioned the NWO. Have any of you guys been watching the Who Killed WCW series?
I haven't. I need to watch that first.
I've watched enough just to get real pissed off. And what's amazing is all the people they've asked to do it, nobody takes blame for it.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Nobody's taking blame. of
Eric
anything.
Bischoff will not take blame for anything.
I think he's the number one.
Kevin Nash, Vince Russo. I mean,
Vince Russo's another one.
Of course, Hogan's not on it, but he won't take any blame either.
No, it's. They certainly put the one group that keeps getting blamed is the Warner people.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize, and maybe a lot of this could be made up, and it could be just what Bischoff and these people remember. But they certainly made it seem like Warner never wanted WCW outside of Ted Turner.
Right. No, I think once Turner sold it, they were kind of having a fight for what they could get. They were just wanting to do syndications.
Yeah.
They weren't, but at that time too, they started going this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst possible time, but yeah, I'm like you. I've watched all 3 episodes, and all 3 episodes, I'm like, man, they had so many safeguards, and nobody played defense. Not only just bad ideas, bad booking, bad financial decisions.
Well, it's just like the podcast with Conrad Thompson that Bischoff that Sting wasn't tanned, and I know he's going through a lot of stuff and going through a divorce and probably over abusing pills. Well, who the hell wasn't back then?
Everybody.
You know what I
They
mean?
were all.
But here's my thing, and Bischoff's still saying to this day, we just didn't feel good, because of Sting. You still put the title on him.
Yeah. In the worst possible way.
You just screwed up how you did it. If that was the case, why didn't Hogan walk out there with a belt? If that's how you really felt, just say, we screwed up. And they won't do it.
They won't do it at all.
And even, what's his face, Brad Siegel brought up, they kept putting pay-per-view matches on free TV.
Goldberg and Hogan in the Georgia Dome.
Why was that not on pay-per-view?
Yeah.
That might have outdid Sting Hogan.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Because Goldberg was at the peak.
That crowd was hot. That crowd in the Georgia Dome might be one of the hottest crowds in the history of wrestling.
And the only thing I can think, and it wasn't that long of a match, did they know by then kind of what WWE figured out, that Goldberg can't go long?
Right, yeah.
Do you think that's why they did it, not a pay-per-view? Or are we giving them too much credit to think they actually thought of something?
Yeah,
I think you're giving too much
Yeah.
credit.
I think they just,
I think they just.
how many times has Bischoff said, we literally were booking day to day.
Yeah.
The only long-term booking they ever did, give them credit, was awesome. The finish was terrible, but the build to it was Sting and Hogan.
Yeah.
17 months. The guy never said a word. It was one of the greatest
He
stories
stayed in the
ever.
rafters.
He's supposed to be tan, even though he's been up in the rafters the whole time,
Yeah.
wearing a trench coat.
He's supposed to be doing steroids and benching 300 while he's up in the rafters too. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I told you guys before we went to the break that I was going to spring a question on you, and it kind of going back on what my question was about Luka. And it might be the only chance Luka ever gets. You never know. I mean, history would tell you it's probably not. He'll at least maybe give one more. But is there any athletes that come to mind? The guys who have never won a championship? And part 2 to that, can you blame said person, or is it more of a team?
I have one name. Well, there's more than one, but I have one name. And I feel like we put him on a pedestal, and I think he was great. He was projected to be better than anybody in his sport. That's Mike Trout.
Yeah. Didn't we put him in our worst contract strip?
Worst contract. But when y'all think about it, Mike Trout was projected with the numbers he started with, he was going to pass everybody. Like they were these astronomical numbers.
Yeah.
And has he even won a playoff game?
They've never won a playoff series. Have they won?
Maybe a series?
I think they've made
I know
the
they've
playoffs
at least won
twice.
And I know it's baseball and there's 9 other guys and all that, but like, there again, there's a superstar that we're giving a pass to.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and I think in the 3 main sports, in basketball, it's Barkley. I think people that see Charles Barkley now, younger generation, they see Charles Barkley and don't know how good he really was.
Yeah.
He's outstanding.
Just ask his peers.
12-time All-Star. He had that series against Jordan where they lost in '93 to the Suns, and that's the only time he made it to the finals.
He was awesome in that series.
But he was league MVP that year. And arguably, and it might have been just because Jordan was just doing enough to be on the dream team, and he just, he didn't even play Jordan didn't probably play near as much, but Barkley, arguably, best player on the dream team.
Yeah.
As far as numbers and stats.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he was 6'4" and rebounding over 10 rebounds a game.
I think I heard he finished in the top 10 in MVP voting for like 12 straight years.
Yeah.
It might have been top 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
For 12 straight years.
Football, Dan Marino.
Dan Marino.
And I don't think you can blame that on the team or really him, because I mean Marino had the numbers, and the Dolphins wasn't a great organization. I mean he was there. What his rookie year was 2-3 years after. When was the undefeated season?
72.
Oh, well, never mind. So never mind.
Well, they made the Super Bowl in '81.
That's what it was. Okay.
Washington. His rookie year was '83, I believe, or his rookie year was '83.
So that's what I said. They were 2 years removed from playing in the Super Bowl. So I don't think you can blame the organization. I mean, his head coach was one of the greatest that's ever done it.
Never had a good running game.
Yeah.
Defense was never what it was in the '70s
Yeah.
and the '80s. But Marino did kind of have a lot to do with that. He wanted a lot of receivers.
But
You had to bring in coaches that fit Dan's style. So Dan did have somewhat. It's not complete LeBroning it, but he did have something to do with it.
baseball, who in my opinion is the greatest hitter of all time, is Tony Gwynn. Never won one, and I think he's the greatest hitter of all time.
He played in so many terrible teams.
They made it to
It
one.
was never his fault.
He went to one World Series, got beat by Detroit in the '80s. Kirk Gibson.
Yeah.
And that's the only one he ever went to. But he's to me the greatest hitter of all. Greg Maddux said you could not get him out.
Yeah.
You could not.
Well, look at his years just to walks and strikeouts is just unbelievable.
Yeah, and of course there's a lot we can say about Griffey never won one.
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams.
I think there's an NBA.
Ted Williams, who may be the greatest hitter of all time.
He may be in the top
yeah.
5 greatest players of all time.
Yeah,
He just
never
happened
won
to
one.
be in one of the greatest eras of one of the greatest dynasties, maybe in all of sports, with the Yankees.
Yeah. I think there's a basketball player that we overlook sometimes, and that's Penny.
You talk about him a lot when it comes to guys that never won. I kind of see Penny and Tracy McGrady as the same person. Am I wrong in thinking that, or I just got Magic jerseys stuck?
McGrady was a better scorer. I think Penny was a better teammate.
See, and I mean, I don't know that Penny wouldn't have. I mean, I guess in his younger years, Penny was.
I'm not saying he wasn't a good scorer. I mean,
I
some of the
would've
stuff
liked
McGrady
to
was
see-
doing when he went to the Rockets, like the last couple of years in Orlando, and then those Rockets, it was unreal what he was doing.
It was. I would have liked to seen Penny and Shaq a little longer before Shaq left to go to Los Angeles. But I think Penny is one of those guys that kind of gets a pass, and he never won it. He never won.
All right, let me throw this name at you. He's currently playing right now. What about James Harden? What do you think? I mean, I know how you feel about him overall.
I think that's one of those. You said you can play it on the player or the organization. You put that on the player.
Yeah, that's a player. Yeah, that's all player.
I mean,
I just want to get your opinion on that one.
Karl Malone.
Yeah.
Malone,
Well,
yeah.
Karl Malone had the unfortunate of their best years were against Jordan.
And think about all the team. The East was very top heavy, but the West, it just always seems like has the most better teams because he was going up against Houston. He had those really good Sonic teams with Peyton. And
You got to think too.
Kemp.
When he hit that stretch was when Dikembe
Well, you
came
had
in the league with Denver.
Those Denver teams.
The late '90s, you had Duncan and Robinson on the Spurs.
You had the
Sean
Trailblazers,
Elliott.
You had the Trailblazers. I mean, they were pretty loaded. The West was, but yeah, Malone. He don't need a pass. We need to get him.
Yeah, he won. I think he won 2 MVPs. I know he won at least
He won 2,
one.
yeah.
And he was in the top of the MVP voting
Did
for a lot of years.
was the Admiral on that early Duncan team that
Yes,
won
he
the title?
was.
That
That
it was.
was at the very end.
Yeah, that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's a football name, Barry Sanders.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's-
and he might have won one. He quit early.
Yeah,
He quit. See, that's the thing.
But it was Detroit.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing.
Realistically, they were never going to get there the way Detroit was ran then.
Randy Moss. That's my guy.
Yeah.
And he was on maybe the second greatest regular season team of all time.
Yeah, he was a part of a really good 49er team that lost in the Super Bowl. He got 2 Vikings teams that lost in the NFC
I
Championship.
mean,
game.
I mean, you think about it, guys. Randy Moss was on some teams. He had Chris Carter as his. That was his co-pilot in Minnesota.
And Chris Carter never won a title.
Never won a title.
I mean, the more I know Hayden didn't grow up and didn't really see that '98. What year were you born, Hayden?
2001.
Yeah, he wasn't even alive during that '98 Vikings
All right.
team.
Dude,
that team was. Randall, they literally just threw the ball deep.
Yeah,
all
I've
the
seen
time.
some highlights, but I never.
I mean, you had Carter on one side and you had Moss on the other, and then Randy would get in a slot. Because Randy wasn't scared to cut the middle. I mean, you see these guys now, they scared. Randy Moss was scared to get folded in half.
Yeah.
And poor Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith.
Good gosh.
Man.
Got there
4 times.
4 times in a row.
4 times
Lose
in a row.
4 times in a row.
They should have won the first.
They should have won the first. The other 3 would be kind of iffy, but man, Thurman Thomas, holy cow.
See, he got overlooked a lot because he's playing the same time Emmitt Smith was. But Thurman Thomas was a bad man.
Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders were teammates at Oklahoma State.
What about AP?
AP.
Adrian
Peterson?
No, Peterson, yeah.
LaDainian Thomas, if we're talking football.
His only NFC championship game was the Favre game in New Orleans, wasn't it?
Yep.
When he made maybe one of the worst throws in NFL history.
Ever.
All he had to do was continue to run.
And he threw it across his body.
And he threw it across his body and got picked up.
Mhm.
Would have set up an easy, winnable field goal that would have sent him to the Super Bowl.
I'll tell you another one that just hit me. Maybe one of the greatest pitchers that ever lived, Nolan Ryan.
Oh.
No, he won.
He
69 Mets.
69 Mets.
He was on the 69 Mets?
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Mets.
Never mind.
He sure was.
Yeah. That
Never
was
mind.
his only title, though.
Have y'all seen talking about Nolan Ryan, have y'all seen like these clips where they show people throwing out the first pitch?
Yeah.
You know, he threw it like 75.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it
it's
was on a dime,
It
too.
was on a dime. Yeah.
And he retired when he was 46, right?
Man,
Right.
that dude.
His last pitch was
Beating the
45
crap
miles
out of Robin Ventura.
Listen, when Robin Ventura charged the mound and Nolan Ryan put him in a headlock and still pitched the game with blood just coming off his lips and everything.
Wiping Robin Ventura's blood off on his
Yeah.
jersey and buttoning his jersey back up.
Just
To
like
give the
that.
ball.
Yeah.
Well, think about some of these. Was Chipper on the Braves '95 team?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was on that.
He's one.
Well, think about Freddie Freeman. How good Freddie Freeman's been. He's been on some good teams.
Freddie was on the Braves team that won.
He was on that 2001 team.
2021, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was on that
Just
21 team.
slap me.
Yeah,
I
the
told
year-
you you're allowed to slap
Yeah.
me if I say something
Well,
stupid.
I said Nolan
Because he
Ryan.
got traded.
He got traded the next year.
Went to the Dodgers
He
the
won the
next year.
series and then they traded him away.
Yeah, I'm a
Did they try? I thought he signed.
But and of course, he's not one of the greatest. You know, he's not in this conversation. But Dusty can tell you, I was a huge Ron Gant guy,
He was.
and he was with all those.
He wasn't on that '95.
He was
went
there.
traded- He went to Cincinnati.
He wrecked his motorcycle, broke his leg. The Braves traded him to Cincinnati. And then he ended up Cincinnati, St. Louis, and then Oakland's where he finished. But he was early '90s.
Listen,
You better not pitch to him. But he was also one of those who's going to hit 30 home runs, steal 30 bases.
Yes, and he was going to drive in 50 runs
Yeah.
or more, and you couldn't outrun his arm in left field.
Man, those Braves teams. It's a shame.
Listen,
they
you
only
know,
won
I mean,
Hey,
we were raised that way, but like,
It just made me think of it too. Football and baseball. Maybe the greatest athlete of all time is Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Never won.
he never won one.
Of course, the injury did him in,
He
but
wasn't around long enough
Right.
to win anything.
No.
I mean,
Gosh,
he never made the playoffs with the Royals, did he?
Nope.
And the one playoff game he played with the Raiders is where he got
Got hurt.
You know, they had a pretty nasty team in Chicago. Him and Frank.
Mhm.
You know, his first game in
when he
Chicago,
got back,
hits a home run.
or
you
that
know?
fake hip.
Yeah.
But I will. We ever have a greatest athletes of all time? You just go ahead and Clint's is Bo Jackson.
How about we do that next week?
I
I got
don't
you.
know that there's an argument though.
Yeah. We'll
I
have,
mean,
have to do 2 through 5. What's your top 5? Mine top is
my
Bo
first
Jackson.
is Bo Jackson. I'll never. There's nobody that will ever take that away from me.
Well, I think we should do it next week.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Greatest athletes.
Top 5 greatest athletes of all time.
How about we
wow.
go top 5 greatest, and then we'll do a top 5 most overrated.
That'll work.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got my number 2 already.
All right, well, we're going to start doing our homework.
Do our homework.
And, you know, this guy's going to break out a million stats.
Oh, he's gonna have.
I'm gonna have the numbers, son.
All I ask is you
Once
don't
I
wear
get
this
some
crap
homework.
right here the next week.
What this?
I'm not. I'm just going to have what I think about them.
I think they play on Wednesday, so Thursday, if boys.
When is the first game Saturday?
Saturday's first
Oh,
game.
I thought
I
it
think
was
they get a
tomorrow.
day off.
Saturday.
No, they get a day off.
Now, I'm all over the place. I thought Freddie didn't win a championship.
That's the only thing that worries me about Tennessee is they're getting a break. Want them bats to stay hot. Of course, Texas A&M is too, though.
I was going to say, but listen, I'm going to say this, and y'all know I'm not a fan. Guys, y'all got, I don't understand it's baseball. My God, what are y'all worried about? Y'all got one, curse or not, if y'all lose, then Tennessee's got the worst damn curse ever.
Well, it's
in any kind of playoff run in any sport.
well, I ain't necessarily gonna say that. Tennessee's got the pressure on them. Texas A&M don't.
Yeah,
they don't have the
but
pressure on them.
Well, y'all do have the pressure on you. Oh my God, y'all got the best.
We got 5 hitters there.
Y'all
hitting
have
over
the
220.
best hitting college baseball team.
5 guys with 20.
I get it. I get it. But me and you were also Braves fans in the '90s. How many World Series we should have won?
What, 25.
How many we win?
One.
All right.
Well, this is y'all's one.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm just saying, as bad as I hate to say it, I'm going to bet on y'all to win.
Well, that might have just cursed us for good then.
I'll lose that money for that.
Well, coming up next here, we all got a rant. It's coming up next here on X Sports Live.
There's a reason owners Tyler and Cindy McDowell chose the name In Service for their towing business. They did because it's their goal to be in service for you on the day that you need them the most. In-Service Towing is now known far and wide for their response time because minutes matter when you're broken down. Or their 24/7 availability, you can call them anytime for service. Their professional team with years of experience and their fairness, plus their know-how in dealing with the unexpected. But the thing that In-Service is known best for is how they treat their customers, and that's like family. When you need them, call them 931-843-9098.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gaines Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through all of life's obstacles. Facing those challenges is easier together. That's why Jack Davis specializes in group insurance. Cover the most valuable aspect of your business, your employees, with coverage for life, accident, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision. Jack Davis can customize plans for every need. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987. Contact Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
Are you looking for the perfect refrigerator? What about a new stove or washer or dryer? It only makes sense to shop at the one place that specializes in appliances, top to bottom, big or small. And that's Kelly Appliance in Lawrenceburg. Kelly Appliance is home to all major name brands, including LG. LG makes life good with a full selection of refrigerators, cooking appliances, dishwashers, microwaves, and more, including appliances made right here in Tennessee. Family owned and family operated. Stop by Kelly Appliance on Jerry Street in Lawrenceburg today.
At Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, we're proud to be locally owned and operated because we're not just a bank, we're family. When you call, you'll be greeted by a friendly representative who's ready to discuss your banking needs, as well as offer our competitive rates on CDs and money market accounts. Our loan decisions are made in-house and never sold to a secondary market because our commitment is simple. You matter to us. At Lawrenceburg Federal, we offer all the conveniences of larger banks with a personal touch. Join us at Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, where community, trust, and service come together.
Lawrenceburg Flooring and More is your premier source for hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl tile, sheet vinyl, residential and commercial carpet, carpet tiles, ceramic and porcelain tile, waterproof floating floor, plus blinds and shutters. Lawrenceburg Flooring and More is also home to all name brands and can tackle projects big and small. Installation? You're covered with installers who've got years of experience and stand behind their work. Let Lawrenceburg Flooring and More make your design dreams a reality. 2760 Highway 43 North, or visit lawrenceburgflooringandmore.com.
Whether you're looking to spruce up the interior or exterior of your home or business, trust Lawrenceburg Glass to provide a one-of-a-kind product. From windows to mirrors, shower doors, custom framing, storefront installations, and everything in between, Lawrenceburg Glass takes pride in our quality craftsmanship and strong attention to detail. With us, your customer experience always exceeds expectations. We're reliable, on time, and we deliver stunning results. Lawrenceburg Glass. Our passion is reflected in our work.
LUS is committed to our customers, from providing and maintaining energy-efficient utility services to friendly, helpful customer service. LUS is there. At LUS, we're always challenging everything we know, every day. We strive to improve efficiency and reliability while focusing on our responsibility to our customers and the community. It's our promise to provide dependable service to our customers every time. Because we don't just work in Lawrence County, we live here too.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back to X Sports Live, here from Clint's Back Porch, here on the Back Porch Sessions once again, while Hayden and Ben get the new studio set up for us. So what, we're looking at next week, or hopefully?
Ben's involved. Ain't no telling. It might be another 6 months.
Maybe by the end of basketball season.
Yeah, by basketball season, we'll get to your studio again, Ben. Hey, maybe my hat will be on the table by then too. Still ain't got a hat. Ain't got a shirt.
Well, I ain't got a hat or a shirt.
Hey, me neither, buddy.
It's all right, Ben. I'm fixing to start. I ain't got no kids playing ball no more. I'm fixing to start sending you a bill.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. I've been nice for 2 years.
Yeah, I've been nice for 10.
Well, I've been nice for 2. I'm just gonna keep my receipts just in gas money and be like,
throw it at his desk. You know where his desk is.
Oh, if you can find it, you know where it is.
Hey,
I'm gonna go sit on it.
All right.
He sent up to the office one day.
Hayden, you got a rant for us, brother?
I ain't got one. No, I ain't got one. It's been good.
I'll do Mom's.
There you
My
go.
mom had a rant. She said she can't understand, and really doesn't make sense to me, all the places you think you'd have, or you just do your Olympic trials somewhere that did. But Lucas Oil putting a Olympic-sized swimming pool in their football field. I don't understand that. I know you've got the money to fill it in, and
do a big deal about it, but football stadium is a bit odd.
I mean,
What
are
do
they
you
gonna
think
use?
about it?
Do they have it set up where they can do the diving events and stuff like that too? Or is it just the swimming?
I think it's just.
I have no idea. But are a lot of people really going to watch the trials though?
Look, I watched it
like
last night.
Yeah.
There was people in the crowd.
They look pretty big.
packed.
Now they've got like, okay, this is the football stadium. That part,
It's
this is where it is.
kinda like a wrestling
It's
thing.
not going this way.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's
you
going
got
that way.
Yeah. It's
I mean, but
going
you
this
did have
way.
Ledecky there last night too,
Yeah.
so everybody's gonna come watch her.
Yeah, and a girl from Nashville.
She made the
Nashville said that,
she
yeah.
made the 4 girls made the relay team.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a girl from Nashville. Man, they're
Well,
gonna
she
be really
set a
good.
world record on Saturday,
Yes, she
too.
did.
Yeah.
And Ledecky was on the verge of setting a world record last night on the 1500 freestyle or whatever it was.
Swimming's hard, man.
Uh,
It's such a hard sport.
My rant is to the WNBA. What do you guys want? Because I don't think you know. I'm not a big Caitlin Clark fan. I'm really not. But, and I do get from there's a lot of players in the league that are better than her. And the attention has not been paid toward them like it is Caitlin Clark. And I get that, and there could stem some jealousy. But you actually have people watching now. And when Charles Barkley makes a comment, telling y'all are being petty, and LeBron even did. I was proud of LeBron for it. That, they need to realize that people are actually watching more now, and they're getting things they've never got. And they still just want to complain about it. I honestly think they just would assume not have it and go back. But you actually have men watching the WNBA now. And I get it. It probably comes down to a race thing. You've got more white people watching the WNBA now than you ever have. But to the rest of the league, I think y'all need to take the L on this one. Because you're being promoted more now than you've been in a long time. I can't name you who won last year's championship.
No.
I don't know anything about it. But here's the thing. The women, and I don't want this, any female viewers watching, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but you want more promotion stuff, but the thing is the women don't even watch the WNBA.
No, that's true.
So now that you're getting more of a following, more of an audience, more sponsorships, even though Caitlin's getting a lot of it, I think you need to be happy and just take the loss on this one and be proud of your viewership, being proud of the things you didn't get the year before she got there.
Ticket sales have gone up.
I'm going to go a little further with one other person. They got to do something with Angel Reese.
Right. We're not watching the WNBA because of her.
First and foremost, she's not the face of the WNBA.
No.
We didn't even know who she was 2 years ago. That's a fact. Now, you might have known if you was an LSU fan or wherever she transferred from to LSU. You might have known who she was. But we're talking about a girl that's, 6 whatever she is. Do you know that over half of her rebounds are her own rebounds on the shot she misses?
Yeah.
She couldn't shoot in the ocean if she's standing on the beach. And this girl thinks that she is helping be the face of the WNBA. They should have fined her and suspended her the other night. She blatantly tried to knock her head off.
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
She said, what'd she say? Oh, my eyes were on the ball. Your eyes was in her ear hole as you hit her.
And said the refs were giving Caitlin a favorable whistle. I think everyone gets a favorable whistle when they get knocked
When you
in
get
the
clothesline.
Yeah.
When you get whiplash.
Jordan got. That looked like something he used to have.
It looked like the Pistons.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. Yeah. And listen, I'm gonna go a little further and talk about the money part of it. Man, these girls, they really. I mean, I'm not a huge Caitlin Clark fan. I've always said that I feel like she was put up here on that Iowa team, and there was 4 other girls on that floor that got 0 credit.
And there's one of them that's actually killing it.
Yeah, and for the aces, Kate Martin.
Yeah.
But we didn't know who she was at Iowa.
Right.
It was always Caitlin Clark, just because she changed women's basketball like Steph changed the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's cool. I get it. Yeah. But these girls in the WNBA, they really probably need to shake her hand every time they're in a gym together and say thank you.
Right.
And they don't even have to do that, but you got to quit trying to murder her, and you got to quit tweeting out all the time everything that this isn't fair and all this stuff. People are watching your sport Now, not a lot, but they're watching it more.
Yes.
And media is treating the WNBA
Yeah.
like they treat the NBA.
They're talking about you on every morning show.
And listen, for me, being a shoe guy with a shoe collection, I promise you, when them first Caitlin Clarks come out, this old boy right here is going to have a pair of them. Because what's her name? Sabrina?
Sabrina's got her own.
Sabrina's shoes, because here's what I told my buddy. I was like, they're not just a women's shoe.
Right.
There's boys on the AAU level that I've been seeing the videos that are wearing these Sabrinas. I will have a pair of Caitlin Clarks and they will be put up.
Right.
Because that shoe's going to be just like a Wemby or whatever. It's going to be astronomically expensive one day.
Mhm.
One day it is. Yeah.
So when I'm going to buy it when it comes out. And all her shoes are going to be low tops because she patents everything off the Kobe. Because that's what she wore in college was Kobe's.
What's your rate, man?
That's it. I'm just going off him.
He just went off of it.
Now, I'm sure everyone's going to piggyback off mine here. So, to kind of give some context, I sent Dusty a screenshot of a tweet. And it said basically, to kind of summarize it, look at what's going on in the College World Series right now. When you look at these teams. Guys, do you see any kind of wimpy-looking baseball players, or do you see a lot of grown men?
Those are grown men.
Out there.
Cornbread fed boys.
Yeah, there's some guys that have spent a lot of time in the weight room, done a lot of working out, hitting the ball a mile in a place that's not hitter friendly.
I heard they said that guy from Florida, he wears a size 19 shoe. Size 19.
Those are some grown men. So that's
I mean,
basically
look at the
what-
dude from Tennessee. He's got the handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
I did get a text message today from my buddy and said, "Did you know your brother plays for Tennessee?" He says me and him look alike. I was like, "Come on, man."
So to piggyback off that, Monday I was talking to a friend of mine who's Division I head basketball coach, and he's calling me from the beach. Now this guy, I know, recruits hard, like every Division I head coach has to do. But he's calling me from the beach. I'm like, "You're at the beach? I've never known you ever in my life to go down to the beach." And he said, "Well, things have changed, AJ. The world of college basketball and the world of college sports has changed." He goes, "I went to my last AAU tournament last year. I'm not recruiting them this year. And for the first time ever in my life, I'm taking my family on a 2-week vacation. I've already done all my recruiting through the transfer portal. I recruit locally. There's a lot of talent around my area. I got some good kids. We've got a really good shot to win our conference. I recruited the transfer portal really well. Half of my guys are from the transfer portal. I'm getting I can't repeat what he said, but I'm getting a lot of grown blank men on my team instead of a bunch of kids. I don't have to deal with the AAU mess anymore. I don't have to deal with crazy parents. I don't have to deal with crazy AAU coaches. I don't have to deal with AAU promoters anymore. I'm literally done with my recruiting by a certain point. And I'm hearing a lot of things from a lot of people. A lot of big-time coaches aren't showing up to these showcases anymore, and that's it. I mean, there's still some that are, but they go to a select few, but they're not hitting every single showcase anymore. And basically, it's a message for everyone here. You might play a ton of travel ball, you might play a lot of places, but college, especially big-time Division I athletics, I mean, Hayden, you've seen it firsthand at the NAI level. I've covered D2, NAI, D3. There's a lot of grown blank men all across, and grown blank women all across these sports. If you don't come into the college level built, ready to go, and with a work ethic, they're not going to recruit you, and B, they're going to get someone else from another school that's already better than you. The world of college sports has changed, and I think the travel ball circuit, the AAU circuit, they're seeing little hits now. I think they're going to see a lot of big hits later.
I want to touch on what we've done 2 Saturdays ago. And I told my buddy this, and his daughter plays basketball, but now you was in the softball world for a lot of years.
And basketball.
And
basketball. But this was just softball. That right there, to me, just sitting back for a minute, I got to enjoy it. I sit back for a minute, we're watching the games, we're calling the games, and because I coach Mason a little bit, and I've been around the travel scene some, like, you didn't hear the parents.
Yeah. There wasn't a ton there.
And it was a showcase, and that's what I'm getting to. Like, I think if these kids focus, I mean, you'll have a trainer, you're going to have a swing coach, you're going to have somebody help you shoot the ball, whatever, but go to a showcase where you don't know anybody, and they take the best 5 girls, they put them on the court, or they take the best 9 boys and put them on a baseball field. Never played. And there were some of those girls that did play. We seen it, that Fusion team or whatever it was out of North Alabama. They had a ton of girls there, and that's great. You can tell they got a good organization.
Yeah.
But do it that way, because those college coaches down there were seeing some really good talent.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have to worry about some crazy parent or some crazy coach or all this stuff. They're actually just getting to see these girls in that atmosphere where they can show out.
And the best athletes we saw there, didn't they look like the best looking athletes out
A
there?
lot of those girls come walking by and you could tell they worked out.
Yeah.
They were in shape.
Yeah.
You know,
Ball came off their bat a little bit differently.
Yeah. They threw the ball a little differently.
different.
Yeah, it just.
Their top speeds were
Yes.
Well, it's the last year I did it was 2022, travel ball wise, and by then, once they get up 16 and over, we went Atlanta, Chattanooga, back to Atlanta, Gulf Shores, Birmingham Thunderbolts. You know that every SEC team was there, and the great thing about that I will put. I've had no boys, so I don't know what travel baseball's like. But softball, they're doing it right. Like even when we go as a team, they go to camps and they do things like that where you just throw them all out there in one bunch. But even when those ones I take my teams to, you're not playing a tournament. We're not doing any elimination. We're playing 3 games on. We're playing 1 game Friday night. We're playing 3 games Saturday. Playing 1 game Sunday. We're going home. Here's your schedule, so you can text any coach that may be looking at you, your schedule to come look at you. Coach may call me and say, "Hey, I can't be there for this time, but can you pitch this kid in this game instead?" Yeah, absolutely, coach. And so it's great for that reason. But now I have seen the other end of it, coaching AAU basketball, and it's not basketball anymore to me.
No.
It's just.
I think it's worse in basketball than it is in
You're 100% right. And I listen. He's probably going to get mad at me. I won't throw any names out, but I have a good friend of mine whose daughter, I was just telling you off air, is right in the middle of it, and they're getting ready to make a run to Ohio for the AAU World Nationals. And then they're going to come back the next week, I think, or the week after, and they're going to go to Run for the Roses.
Run for the Roses usually in July, about second week of July.
And they just played this last weekend with 6 girls. 1 girl broke her foot, but then they've had a couple of girls quit.
Yeah.
And, we talk a lot, and it's like they're not, the coach is not coaching basketball.
Yeah.
He's coaching one-on-one isolation offense. You got 6th grade girls that are fixing to go into 7th grade, and they run their offense. I mean, they got girls going 1-on-3 trying to score the basketball.
Yeah.
And, to your point, it should have been my rant for the last 2 or 3 years. But I can't believe, other than Carly Weathers here, haven't had just a superstar stand out. But if we're Columbia State, if you're Southern, and I know Katie Crystal's at UNA, but there's a lot of colleges close to here that you could be getting kids from Lawrence County, Summertown, Loretta that may not have played AAU ball or the biggest level of AAU ball, but they should be kicked in the rear end for not recruiting. I mean, look how many state tournaments Summertown, Loretta have been in the last 8 or 10 years in basketball.
The only program that actually recruits this area well is UNA softball.
Right.
Yep. Riley Dover's killing it there. Look at what Georgia Land and Macy Burdishaw did over there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You've got kids that would probably love to go maybe keep playing sports that are right in your backyard in Columbia or in Pulaski, and I don't know why they're not wearing out. Yeah, you were never going to get Carly Weathers, but you get a lot of other kids.
Sure. I mean, they keep winning. They keep going to state tournaments. They win state championships. Why?
So in a way, I hope you're right that more recruiters, more coaches quit looking at AAU, quit looking at that stuff, especially on the basketball side, and start looking at go watch them in a high school game, and let me see how good they act when they're blowing a team out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me see what they do to pick somebody up.
Yeah. How did they handle, instead of just, a room filled with 20 courts and you maybe got 50 people watching the
Yeah.
game. But what's it like when you're at the route? 5,000 people are there and all the lights are on you.
Well, you got what's it like at Summertown?
Well, how do you handle it? How do you handle it when you're down by 20?
Yeah, well, come watch them play a game when Summertown student section's here and Loretta student section's here, and they're just yelling at each other, and you can't hear anything that's going on the floor.
We can't even hear ourselves talk with our
Yeah.
headphones on.
Lawrence County versus Loretta this past year.
Yeah.
I mean, go win those games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids around here at our three
Hey, I
head
say it all
schools
the
that
time,
could be
and I use
playing.
the old saying, little old Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, as a whole, Lawrence County, Tennessee, we've got some really good athletes right here.
Yeah, and we've got some that could play. I mean, we talked about Alex Bedford, how good he can be. I mean, volleyball-wise, I mean, I know she's our intern, but an Abby Jo Schaefer, how good of a volleyball player she is, and she's a part of all these great teams.
And they both still probably will in May and stuff, but yeah, I mean, just this last year, you know, you've had a whole handful of kids that could go to the next level.
I mean, think about this past year.
Mhm.
How many kids we had? I mean,
Yeah.
Loretta. I mean, you had Carter. You had Seymour. You got
Miles.
Miles. He's going to play ball. Okay, Lawrence County, TJ, Casey Smith, Isaiah. I don't know Summertown. I don't know.
Well, they're young. I don't think
They're young, but they got a really good program.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
basketball.
yeah.
I mean, look at the girls and the boys that.
Carly Campbell in golf is going to Kentucky.
Kentucky, come on,
Logan's
guys.
going to Southern.
Yeah.
Logan's going to Southern. You know, like, and it doesn't matter to me if you go to MTSU, if you go to Southern, you go to UNA, or if you go to Kentucky. It don't matter. You're getting education. And I will say this, and and you know, this steps on a lot of toes. The money that is spent in travel ball, because now we just said we'd like to see it done just at the high school gym, or at the high school softball field or baseball field. Man, how many thousands of dollars? Like me and my buddy had this conversation. Like, how many thousands of dollars your daughter's going to be in the 7th grade that you spend this year?
Listen.
And all it is you're trying to get an education.
I've said it before. I said if all three of my kids hadn't played any travel ball, I probably could have sent at least one of them to Vanderbilt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Honestly, I mean, here's the thing, though, and it does have its knocks, but I will never regret all the years we did it. Thank God for rednecks. But but I'll never regret it, because when my kids were on the ball field or the basketball court, I knew what they weren't doing.
No, yeah.
It just is, especially when they got to be older. I knew what they weren't doing. You know what I mean? And that peace of mind's worth a lot. Everybody says, "Man, what are you going to do now? You don't have any kids playing ball?" I said, "I guess I'll go to work and pay for it." You know?
Yeah.
You just finally get to work on a regular basis now.
Right.
Yeah. There's certainly pros and cons to it. It just seems
Well,
like
I mean,
we've
my
got-
thing was, like I told my buddy, I mean, it was an argument.
Yeah.
You know, at her age, you know, we're talking probably, you know, anywhere between probably $6,000 to $10,000 a year we're spending on basketball. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, but what if we sign a scholarship? Well, we'll take that money that you're spending
Yeah,
and just put it in the
you're
bank.
still in the hole for that, buddy.
And just put it in the bank, and then when she graduates, how much money you got to go to college on?
Yeah.
Speaking of MTSU, they just got Blair Vargas out of Wayne County, so that's a pretty good kid.
Who did MTSU?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she'll be a senior, right?
Mhm.
She will be a senior.
And I'm
so that's a
I'm
good
hoping
kid
they're
for
going to win that state championship this year.
Yeah, they got
Gosh, they've been so
It's going to be
close.
tough, but I still think they should be the best team.
We hope
The
so.
one they'll give trouble with is Moore County.
Yeah.
You know, Moore County state runner-up last year. They didn't have a senior,
Right. No, they're running everybody.
but they were
back.
also in the opposite side of Wayne County. They didn't have to play Wayne County or the team that won it all. They didn't have.
What was that team that won it all?
Was it the team that beat Wayne County?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the team that beat Wayne County.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won it all.
But anyways, all right. Yeah, that's all I had. But
Another good show here, guys. Clint, loved it here on your back porch. We're probably going to come back. It's definitely
anytime.
got a little better breeze than my back porch. And,
Well, the main thing is sun ain't hitting you.
Yeah.
I about melted last week. I felt like ice cream
and
last
we don't
week.
have to step over any of my son's hidden toys.
Yeah, we don't have-
stepping
yeah.
on all day. Oh, gotta love
And
it.
hey,
Love
maybe
it
maybe
too.
by this time in October, November, when it's starting to get a little cool outside, Ben may have a studio ready for us to use.
If he don't, it starts to get cool. Put the fire pit out.
We'll get the fire pit out and we'll roast marshmallows.
There we go.
All right, guys. Another fun Exports Live. So for Hayden Burks, Dusty Kaiser, Clint Brazier, I'm AJ Good. We'll see you guys next week.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.